Hello. One of the great ways of finding your position when you're navigating along the coast and in sight of the coast and in features that are charted is using the 3-bearing fix, and it's a good alternative or a backup to the GPS. For the 3-bearing fix you need a chart and some charted features, and you need the pencil and paper and of course the hand-bearing compass. So the first thing you do is you just have a look around to see what's likely to be charted, and just over this shoulder here I've got a church, and that's on the chart. That's Rose Street Church, and further south is its twin church, and that's Bright Street Church. I'm going to use it. Churches are great because they reach a fine point. You know exactly where it is on the chart. It's the centre of the cross on the chart. And as I come around out to sea here, now it's a little bit hard to see, you see there's a fishing boat there, and just this side of the fishing boat there's a green pillar known as the Black Man, and that is also charted. So I'm going to use my hand bearing compass to identify, to get a bearing on those three.
So I checked the chart to see if the 3 positions that I saw when looking around me are on the chart. And they are. And churches are always very reliable, as would a beacon. So we have the northern of the 2 churches, which is Rose Street, the southern of the 2 churches, which is Bright Street, and Black Man, which is the flashing green 5 seconds beacon.
The thing to do is have them written down in your notebook so you can take notes very quickly, and particularly if your boat is moving, these need to be taken one after the other, bang, bang, bang. But a word of warning, the compass doesn't tell the truth. It doesn't point to north. There are 2 errors. One is caused by the earth, which is variation, and that's a known quantity for any given area or any given year. But the other is a deviation. Now with a fixed compass on a boat, you've got a deviation card, but with a handheld compass, you've got to make sure that you're in a magnetically clean area of the boat. So stay away from electronics, stay away from the outboard engine hanging over the back rail, stay away from the engine. But also make sure you don't have any handheld VHFs hanging off you. And as is usual, I tend to have a VHF on my belt somewhere. So I'm just going to put that down out of magnetic reach of my hand bearing compass, so the handheld radio is not interfering with it. Another thing is lately there are reading glasses which you can get that split on the bridge and you can hang them around your neck, but there's a little magnetic catch in the middle of the reading glasses, and if you use reading glasses to use your hand bearing compass, make sure there's no magnetic interference from the reading glasses themselves. That's quite a common mistake. And of course the mobile phones, we're always carrying them. Put it down, get it away from you, at least 1 meter away from the compass when we're using it. So that's it. I'm ready to take my bearing now. So I'm going to start with Rose Street and swiftly move to Bright Street, and thereafter that we will move to the Black Man. So I line it up against my nose like that, and not out here, it's hard to see. And when you're looking at the compass, you line it up and look through that window there, and you should see a red line and another red line in your lower peripheral vision. So in your lower peripheral vision you're using the red line there, but you're looking through there and you line up the 2 red lines. This is Rose Street. Two 251. 211 onto Bright Street. 128 onto the Black Man there just beside the ship. So that's my 3 bearings.
So I'm back at the chart table now using chart 1772, which is the chart for Wexford Harbour. And it's a chart covering a small area, it's in a large scale. So we've the 2 churches, the northern one of the 2, Rose Street at 251 degrees, Bright Street at 211 degrees, and Black Man at 128 degrees. So there's a decent cut between those. Generally, you should be looking for about 120 degrees across the 3 of those, but that's not always possible. So I first dial in. I can't just use 251 straight. I'm just dialing it in here. I can't use that straight because the compass is not telling the true position because of the issue of variation caused by the Earth. So the error is 2 degrees west. So I'm just going to put the 251 instead of the 0. I'm just going to move the 251 to there, which gives me a true reading of 249. So again, I watch where my little arrows are. There's my little arrows. And my blue arrow points towards the church. So I've identified the church is here. And then I move this around until the crisscross in the middle lines up with the verticals and the horizontals underneath. So we find something there. So there we go. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's lined up on the spire. And I just draw my first line in there. Just one single line. And that's my 251 corrected to true, which is 249. The next one is 211. So the same thing here. I dial in 211. But again, I don't dial it onto the 0. I dial it in onto the 2 degrees west. So the error is west, error west. So I just bring the 211 point around to reading 2 degrees west. So that's it there. Don't touch the dial now. The little blue arrows there are pointing north, and I manipulate it around so it's on the southern of the two churches. And again, I use my crisscross to find, there we go. So that's pretty good there. Just double check that, not quite, just fiddle around with it. And I draw my line there. So if we just trusted 2 lines, my position would be there, but you never trust 2 lines. So I'm taking the third one from Black Man. So Black Man is 128. Now I said in the video incorrectly, it was 129. It's 128. So again, I dial in 128 there. And this time, again, because the error is 2 degrees west, I move this 2. So I put the 128 on the 2 there. Okay, so that's looking good. Move the whole thing around, don't touch the dial now, making sure this little blue arrows are pointing north, and just lay it down. So I'm using the crisscross again on the grade until I've got Black Man. Just move it around. That's looking pretty good. And I draw my line. Now, as it happens, my little triangle is very small there, which means I got a good reading. So I'm somewhere there. I was actually standing on the corner of the pier here, so I'm happy that that is a good position. And I would note the time down and what time I took the position. I can also read off the latitude and longitude, so I'll start off with latitude. So ignore this here, and I'm just making sure the thing is level. So that's my latitude and my longitude. Check that there. So this one here then is 52 degrees 20, and up there's 21, so it's 20.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 20.4. No, and my longitude, remember, it goes this way from Greenwich, so that's 00627, that's 28, so it's 27.1, 2.3, so it's 006 degrees 27.3 west. Write that down here. My position is 52 degrees 20.4 minutes north, and 006 degrees 27 minutes 3 west.